video.
Yeah, I see you were gone for a second. I see you again.
It's always goes. We're here. This is our 2020 top 15, top 20, 25 video, just records we like everybody's doing. We're a little, just because there are so many records, I rearranged my top a few times, and well, here we are, 2 weeks later. Last time we talked about Scapé, and Thigh, which I kept listening to Thigh, and it kept growing on me. So
it's something special. At least
for sure. On the news front for Babylon Doom Calls, you did the pre-orders went out for Alkerdale.
Alkerdale, they also dropped the first track, Zop.
Yep.
And on the same day, the next release, which will be released 4 weeks after. So Alkerdale comes 5th of February, and Koldovstvo will drop the 5th of March. And there's always, the first track is also up there on YouTube and everywhere. So
with that beautiful cover, the painting, right?
Yeah.
Checked out the preview. It sounded good, atmospheric.
Yeah, it's a very good record. It's a very good record.
Yeah, I'm excited for Alkerdale in the first place, just because I kind of heard the record. I let it sleep for a while because I was listening to it a few times in the second half of the year, or when I got it from beta, but I decided to let it sleep for a while just to not get tired before the record came out. But yeah, excited for the release. It looks amazing.
Yeah, and Peter has seen the finished product, and he says it's awesome. So I haven't seen it yet.
There's no delay. It's just
It's already done. Yeah.
Nice.
Only there were too few covers printed or slipcases. So for the limited edition, they are not all there, but they will be. The missing numbers will be printed, so everything will be fine.
Nice. Well, that's more than you can ask for, I guess, in 2021.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for my test press of Koldovstvo, so that will be close.
Is it the same pressing plant?
No. The Alkerdale was handled by Consoling. They did the logistic process.
Yeah. Easy for you.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes. Smart. As for the rest of the news, the tip that I can give people, because I saw a few messages that it was doing well on selling out, or half of the copies were gone. I got in my copy of Analog Black Terror.
The second one.
Yeah, the second one. It is an expensive book, like the first one, but it's again very worth picking up if you're into, what demos looked like, I guess, 20, 30 years ago. My copy didn't come with blood, which I liked. It came with this stamp collection. That's something.
I see the Abigor sign there, I think.
Yes, there is a lot.
Inverted cross with the pentagram in it. I think I know that from Abigor, but not sure.
It's a lot. They're definitely in here. But yeah, it's very worth getting, and they pack incredibly. So it survived completely. I don't know where to put it. It is that big. But yeah, that's something too. If you're into books, if you're into black metal, and you have some funding after the holidays, that's something to get into. And then the last thing for the people who watch it straight away, tomorrow.
It's a cat.
Okay. Thought the kid was there.
Yeah.
Tomorrow the pre-orders for the new Sangui Sugabog records are going live. Not sure if that's your cup of tea, but I think a lot of people are waiting for that record since they dropped it.
Which one is it? Sanguine Relic?
Sangui Sugabog. It's a Maggot
know.
song. A little bit.
Ah, okay, yeah. Don't know.
Okay, what do you say? Shall we dive in?
Sure.
Want to do ping pong, or what are we going to do?
Yeah. We'll probably have some common items in our top. So I'm just gonna start with the 2 records I put out on Babylon Dome Guild last year. We only did 2 records, so it was a very quiet year for our own releases. And the first one was Meslamtea with the amazing artwork. It's a bit of a pity because everywhere the record is mentioned somewhere online, people say, "Oh yeah, the artwork is amazing, but the music is amazing as well." At least in my opinion, it's very progressive, but it's also atmospheric and it's also just in your face.
Where are they from?
Holland.
Oh, okay.
It's 2 guys. They're both in Aschrouw as well.
I know it by name.
Yeah, Aschrouw did they had a release on Dead Cult last year.
Yes.
Aswell from Aschrouw. They released on Dead Cult, and it sold out, of course, like everything on Dead Cult does. And the second one is, of course, Schager.
Yes.
Which was a very nice surprise for me. I did 200 copies and it sold out. So I always thought I wasn't big enough to launch a band. But Schager proved me wrong. So very happy with that release as well.
They were definitely in my runner-up list when I did my channel top 20, top whatever. Yeah, great record. Really enjoyed it. It's one of those records that came late for me because I didn't do the pre-order. I just got it from my last haul from you. So I didn't spend too much time with it, but what I heard was definitely worth just a mention, I guess. Yeah, too cool.
It's very good.
Very good. I think I have 5 runner-ups that are not in. I always say, just to cap it off, the records I am talking about have to be in my collection. But I have 15 to talk about, and I have 5 that are not in the collection, but that should be in here, and that are coming in or just are impossible to find at the moment. One is the Caustic Wound Death Posture, which is a grind death metal all over the place. There are hardcore influences, punk influences. It's with members from Mortiferum, Magruder Grind, Fetid, and Cerebral Rot. So it's those kind of bands that form this blistering record. It is one of the more abrasive records I think I heard this year. Just then Pharmacist with medical renditions of grinding decomposition, which is
is it carcass worship?
It is carcass worship, and it's most glorified carcass and pathologist. If you have that world of that and grind, you will. The cover is maybe the worst cover of the year. I think just the record cover. It is just a skull in a carcass collage, but someone smeared it with shit mixed with meat, and it's disgusting. But yeah, it works. Then there are 2 werewolf records. One is the Ymir or Wymir. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. The band has been around since the late 90s. That dropped 2 demos and then had some personnel changes, and it's now the self-titled out on Werewolf Records. It's just that cold finish, kind of reminiscent to the 90s sounds, but done to a very high degree, and I think just a very good record. And the other one is the Moon Citadel with Night Scarlet Symphonies. Another band that had 2 demos, 1 or 2 demos, and now a full. So it's basically the same story, also from Finland. And the last one is Bone Owl with An Obelisk Marks the Line. And Bone Owl is black metal punk in that genre. It's the guy. They're from New York and California, so I'm not sure where they're now, but it's their second full length. One of the guys is called Ganesh's Teeth, and the other one is called Crush's Teeth. So where they get their stuff from. But yeah, even their solo projects are very worth checking out. They're in Raspberry Bulbs and bands, but always in that crossover between black metal and punk.
Yeah.
And they really,
I have one split of them. Bone Owl with Ashdautus, I think.
Ashful, maybe.
No. Ashdautus, or it's one of the Black Twilight Circle bands.
Ah, okay, nice.
Bone Owl. That's how I got it.
The link seems natural.
Ashdautus, Bone Owl. Yeah.
Okay, should look into that. The very, very last one for me is, and sorry for the pronunciation, Tutsin, I guess, with Demo 2020. It is a new band on the aswell label, the the very wrong label, I should say. But they did they put out the demo. It's raw black metal from the United States, and who is in it? Let's say it is full of Geheimnissen. That's the same guy as this guy. So I loved Geheimnisvoll, that record that was also put out on aswell, and this is just this new project. From what I could find or what someone told me, that is my runner-ups.
Yeah, I have runner-ups. What do I have here? Record which I looked forward to a lot, but doesn't completely do it for me is Turia.
Okay.
De Vanuytrecht.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great record, but it just doesn't click like the previous ones do. Don't know why. But it's kind of, it's not a fluent record or so. It came together with Flastrax. I think it was the same release date or maybe a month in between. Yeah, Flastrax is very you put it on and just it starts and you go with it the whole for the whole ride. Mm-hmm. And this one is very, I don't know, it's like it's always, oh yeah, now it's this part and then it stops and now it's this part, and so I like it and I keep on returning to it, but it's still not fully, I don't know if it will grow any better.
Okay. But the thing I had with it is that the previous ones from Turia always had that smaller scope for me. If you just go by artwork, the previous one had like a little branch stack or a bit of fire, a knife, whatever. And now it's this big mountain, and I think that was the intention, to make a big open record, like I think we talked about this one. And it kind of hits and misses in some parts, where I think the smaller scales sound they had, or the idea of the concept worked a little bit better, maybe. I don't know. It's like you say, I don't see it growing on me like the other material.
No, neither do I. Mm. And the scope you talk about is sounds plausible.
Yeah, plausible. Yeah, I think so. Just going off the artwork, but I mean, they're artwork conscious band, so I think it's not a coincidence that they go from that tiny world where they were walking into this big open space with mountains and stuff like that. So
yeah, but the album is also inspired by the mountains. So
yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, should I do all my stuff that just falls outside of my?
I think that would be the way to go, and then we'll go into the.
I have a lot, so I'm just gonna show them. Silver Knife. It's good. Sometimes I put it on and I like it. Sometimes I put it on and I have no, not my cup of tea. So it's weird. And I put it on at my headphones last week, and it's very guitar driven.
Okay.
And like the drums are mixed in the back, and they sound very non-dynamic. So and the guitars are very much in front.
How many guitars do they? Is it one guitar? So
It's a band from Hans. It's not a secret, I think. It's Hans from Leviathan
okay,
and Nikki from Lastig, so it will be two guitars.
yeah, for sure.
At least two guitars.
Dueling
But then
guitar.
it became a live band because I think Deha did drums on the album, but now the guy from Business for Satan will be their live drummer, I think.
Yeah.
And they have a bass player, Sylwin from Lastig will be the bass player. So
the big family record.
yeah. Another one is Reveal.
No, the cover, but
it's on the Sepulchral Void. So it's really good. It reminds me a bit of Witch Trail. There are not much bands that remind me of Witch Trail, but this goes kind of all over the place. There's some black metal, but like the previous one also had like punk parts and weird riffs like Witch Trail has. And it's a bit of creepy. There's this very slow song where I always get like shivers when people whisper in music.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel uncomfortable. And this one has it as well on one of the tracks. So. But
I had a few records because I can't say which, but since you bring up whispering, I was listening today. I don't know what record it is, but it was such a good dynamic sound in the headphones that I thought someone was behind me. You know that feeling, like you're listening intense and someone whispers something like right here, and I was like, what the fuck? But I was sitting here, so there couldn't be any crazy sometimes. How that sounds.
Another one which we already mentioned is Marino on Altar. It's not super good or anything, but I can put it on like every day and enjoy it. So that makes it a good record.
Yeah.
Even if when you put it on, it's like, oh yeah, it's okay. If you can listen to it every day, it's just a very good record. Yeah. I have the same with the new Enslaved Utgard. If I put it on, it's like, well, this is okay, but I can listen to it like 3 times a day for a week.
Yeah, that's
so
another.
I don't have it.
That's another black hole in my music experience. Enslaved, I never found a way in.
Yeah, I read something this week about someone who started with the mid era. Mm-hmm. You have the first 2 or 3 like classic albums, and then you have Health, which was it's not the first one to take it into epic proportions, but it had something different.
When did they start becoming too Viking for their own good?
Too Viking?
Too Viking.
I think the further back in their discography you go, the more Viking they were.
Okay. Because I know.
So when they were 14, because that's when they started. Too Viking at 14.
Like Frost and those kind of records.
Yeah, that's the second one. So then we're talking 1994 or so.
I think when I noticed them, or when I started looking into that kind of music, I think they were at a point that they were becoming very progressive, and the singing style vocals, and I just kind of ignored it and never went further back. So that happens sometimes.
Yeah, of course. Another one I have is the new Beherit. I hear people saying it's super boring. I like it. There's not much happening, but it just sounds. The sound is so, clean, and it sounds beautiful.
It's 100% an ambient record, right? There's no black metal.
Yeah, no, there's no black metal. It's totally ambient, and it's not like I once read in an interview like he's the old ambient records he did.
Yeah.
Electric Doom synthesis, and there's another one with the number H and then the numbers.
Yeah, H. Yeah.
And they asked, would you still do a record like that? And what would it sound like now? And he said, back in the days, I didn't know the let's say it's a Casio, the keyboard, the Casio I was using. If I would do it now, I just would know better the gear I'm working with, but for the rest, it would be kind of the same record.
And is it?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know the other ones too well. I've ordered them somewhere, so they're coming my way.
Okay.
Not for the distro, just for my personal collection.
I don't think I have a ambient record by him. I only concentrated on the black metal portion. Funny thing about this record, normally I turn my phone on airplane modes at night or whatever. That night I didn't, and I got a notification at around 3 a.m. saying, "Hey, Cult in Finland has a new beard," and I'm like, "What new beard?" So in my sleep, I just clicked through, "What's your name, Tom? Order," and I just clicked. And the day after I woke up, and it was like almost, I think it was 40 or 50 euro with shipping, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Ambient records.
I have it for 22.
Yeah. But I mailed the guy and I was like, "Hey, sorry, I was asleep and I didn't see it was an ambient record, so no offense, but I'm going to cancel my order." But no problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
Was cool about it, but yeah, that would decimate my month budget. I think that record.
Yeah. So like 7 or 8 runner-ups to go.
Okay.
Silver. Just kind of a continuation of the Assassination. Really good, catchy, weird lyrics.
That is actually my record of the year.
Yeah.
The Assassination. Too bad it's from 2017.
Okay. Yeah. The Invunch Ifernach split.
Yes.
I don't know what to make of the Ifernach side. It's okay. It's not some. If it would be a standalone record, I don't think I would buy it.
I left it out because if you would have it in. I think I left out a few just because I know you would have it in.
And the Invunch side, it took me a while to get it because it's kind of short, and it's like a few songs like say Invunch like on 2, but more musical, less punch, less aggression or so, less repetition, more song based or so.
Yeah, maybe.
And then in the middle there's this interlude, and I didn't get it at first, but yeah, turns out it's a pretty good record. So
I was kind of surprised by the length because you say too short, but it is an EP. I was kind of surprised by the length of both sides because I was under the impression, because of the price, for example, that I was going to be disappointed that they were 1 or 2 tracks each. But it's more with the I think the intention, especially on the Invunchia side, of like a mini full. Like there's not just 2 songs, there's dynamic range within, the bunch of songs and the interludes. So I was kind of surprised by that they used the full scope of the EP to really make to make a mini full record, I guess. And I think Invunchia did that better than Shana.
to create a one side record that's one part that's
like if Invunchia, for example, said, "Hey, I'm coming to Vol.7 and I'm playing that side of Split," that would be actually a perfect. I'm not sure how long it is. It's not a half an hour, I guess, but that would be a great part within the set. Just play that as
indeed. Yeah.
So I give the edge to him for sure.
Yeah. Peterwrak.
Yes.
We discussed it. The Spectres and Teeth.
I'm waiting.
On Into Endless Chaos.
Yeah.
This is something kind of a mix between. Also has some Witch Trail influences in the guitar parts, like the epic riffing. But it also has kind of the sound of Alcadale.
Yeah, you said it. I think it's a bit more heavier maybe than Alcadale. Not talking about the new record, but what they have done. I thought it was more of a bulky sound, or maybe it's not death metal, but with that brutality maybe played.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Definitely.
I ordered it last episode, I think, when we talked about Thai, and then I said,
Yeah, possible.
let me listen to it first, and then the second track or something, I said, oh, okay, cool. It's a good record.
Yeah,
But it's not.
it's very nice.
It's from,
Yeah, it's a demo from a couple of years ago, I think.
I'm glad you put it in because I have two records that are technically cheating too.
Metal Archive says it's 2020. Yeah, the music has been written some time ago, but
Yeah.
it's on here somewhere, or it's on the side of Interlude Scales in the description. So, Lure, don't think we need to discuss that anymore.
In your list, I thought it would be higher up in your list. I left it out.
It's hard to make the strict. This one as well, like Malakarpatan.
Nah.
I really like it. Maybe if I put it on tomorrow, I listen to it for a week and it enters my list again. So,
do you like it better than the older material or less?
I think they made 3 different records.
Okay.
The first one is very nasty, dirty, old school. The second one has a much better sound, and it's a bit more epic. And this is more progressive. Some progressive parts, and then a lot more interludes on acoustic guitar and stuff like that.
Okay.
So do I like it better? Depends on the mood of the day.
No, I guess. I never. I don't know why, because they are on a label I love. They're on Invictus. They always, their artwork is on point. They have, they have great records for what I know. The people that talk about it, I respect their opinion, but I never got around to listen to them. So,
okay.
2-3 for Malakarpatan. I don't know why. It just something always put me off, I guess, or too many records.
Yeah, happens sometime.
Yes.
And on a side note, there's also the Krolok Temnohor records, which is like the previous vocalist of Malakarpatan. He's in those bands, I think. There are links to Malakarpatan.
Okay. I have one record by Kolok, I think. The one with the vampire on the cover or something like that.
Yeah, I only have the split. It has been released by that Finnish label. Wait, let me have a look. Other versions. Livor Mortis.
Ah, okay, they did it.
They did it in 2020, so that's why I thought about it. But
they have the new was Kek Akta or what's that band? The one with the guy lurking. I got the tape from you.
Yeah. Do they have it on vinyl?
The second one is now on pre-order on vinyl.
Okay. Because I was going to do Kek Arak this year on vinyl, and I already pre-ordered copies like 5 months ago.
Of course,
so I'm still waiting. Still waiting on when they would be done. No idea. I'll mail them. I'll put it on my to-do list right away.
They're up for pre-order since yesterday, I think, but when they will arrive, that is a different story.
Yeah, indeed. But they will arrive in the end. Okay.
Yes.
Another weird one. Lugubrum, Plage Chômage.
Was it this year?
Yeah, it's 2020.
Okay.
It's not a metal album, and I thought it was very bad at first. But it grew on me, and now it's like it's really fun record to listen to.
Next time we're doing Lugubrum, right?
Yes, okay. I will have some homework by then.
Oh, I have a lot of homework. It's going to be 2 weeks at least.
Yeah, for sure. Those are my runner-ups, and I forgot some records in my for my real top. But yeah, it's like can change any day.
Yeah.
It's like Lugubrum can be in my top 5 tomorrow if I put it on.
Yeah, because this top 20 or top 15 is not really different from what I put on the channel as my top records of the year. But you start listening to a lot of records because people put on their list, and then it just shifts.
Yeah.
Kind of an organic.
I also discovered like the Witch Hazel record the last 2 weeks, the Horizont, like the classic hard rock heavy metal ones.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Illusory tape.
Oh yeah.
Also in my my runners up, I discovered the last Anna van Houwelf record. I forgot the Butcher record. I see now. I also forgot Armageddon.
It's endless.
Yeah, I forgot, but those were records I wanted to show definitely in my.
Okay.
Armageddon wasn't downstairs anymore, so it's somewhere in a box in the attic. But I have to make room in my shelves before I can put them in. Black Curse, I forgot Black Curse as well.
I have that.
So yeah, the MSW, the guy from Hell, discovered that record last week or 2 weeks ago. It's super, super good. It's a mix of Hell and Mismar.
Yeah.
That's everything I like from both.
I think we talked about it last week or last episode.
It's possible. The Mare Cognitum Spectral Lore split, but it's such a long ride to go through.
Yeah.
So
Let's do our tops. You name them all.
Yeah, I can name all. Oh yeah, one I have to name is the new Abigor.
Oh yeah.
It's one of my favorite bands, and I hear people say, "Oh, it's amazing," but I don't get it yet.
Is it a red? Is it a red painting esque cover with?
Yeah.
I saw it pop up.
Don't have the vinyl yet. I ordered it, but I hear people say it will become their magnum opus, but I just don't get it yet. I hear all riffs and drums, but it doesn't hit me yet. So
there's no line.
Sorry, there's no.
There's no line running through it yet.
No.
I guess. Okay.
Through the Night, another one. Yeah, it just goes on forever and ever. So let's go to the real deal.
Go first, or should we do rock, paper, scissors?
Just one by one.
Yeah.
Ping pong.
Oh. Go.
One I took out just a few minutes ago is it's a 10-inch from Gnetersvart.
Nice cover.
It has
oh yeah, spot glass. Okay.
It has something. Yeah, it has something on it. It's just thick paper folded, but it's a record that flew under almost everybody's radar, I think.
Never heard of it.
It's released on Van Records, so don't know why, but it's a 10-inch released on 314 copies or something like that.
Not a bad number.
And I just put it on again, and it reminded me a bit of a bit less atmospheric version of Lure, with very chaotic drumming, a bit like the blast from blast beats from Turia. They're a bit like a bit off. This one is also kind of chaotic drumming, a lot of energy. So it's worth checking out. Worth checking out. And I don't know, I even think Fan Records still has copies.
Was it an EP?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care about if something is like an album or an EP.
No, but I mean, are there 2 tracks on there, or are there 7 tracks on there?
No, more. There are 4 tracks. 309 copies.
The numbers of I know how it because we do use the same pressing plant as Van records, so I know those weird numbers, but it's always weird to see that kind of amount of records. You
Yeah.
order 300, you get 305 and stuff like that. So I think it's weird that Van. I think it's cool that Van numbers them like 305 and just puts them out, not like keep 5 copies and make it around.
Yeah, I actually have 207 copies of Meslantea,
Oh yeah.
but like the part to number them, the /200 is pressed on the artwork, so I can't change it to 207.
It's like,
Somebody will have 207 of 200.
that's not sold out yet, right? That's not there.
No. I think I have 50 copies left or so.
Okay. Once I start playing, you will be rid of them soon, I guess.
They don't play. They don't.
Oh.
It's not a live band. No.
Oh.
It's very, very complicated music.
No. All right. My since we're talking about Van records, there's no real order to these records, but I put this because this is one of my.
I don't have an order as well. Maybe
Okay.
there's a few I can say these are the top 5 or so, but
Yeah, I put this first because this is kind of a cheat record. I always was under the assumption that it is a new full length by Macabre Omen. It's called, and I have the worst time pronouncing this, Amnesia, I think it's called. What it is actually is one new track. The first one is called Amnesia from the Past, Sirens Calling. There's one track that is also from 2018 or 19, and the rest is actually a compilation of demo material re-recorded and remastered to make it record, I guess. It has they're a Greek band. There are two, I think brothers, I'm not sure, that moved through to the UK, and it has those UK how should I say it? The like old English, like minstrel sounds like that. Those influences in there, but it is such an adventurous record, and it goes from really well recorded, the first track, the new track, to a bit more demo-esque, although they are all remastered and stuff. But it's a record that I kept listening to digital, and just finally picked up from you. I heard a bit. The pressing is a bit weird. It is Van Records, so it should be on point, but I don't know if it's the mastering that gives it a different sound, because I recently discovered, looking this up, that it's all tracks combined with new tracks. So it kind of colored how I was listening to it, but it's an amazing record. Definitely worth checking out. Yeah, different vocals going through it. I think they all do vocal parts. It goes layers upon layers, vocals. There are choruses. Yeah, it's a very good record, but it's basically a compilation of older material. Yeah, very cool.
Something recent. The Saint-Marie-de-Loup. Took me a while to get it, because at first I thought it was very one-dimensional and straightforward. But yeah, it definitely grew on me. And I think at this moment I would put it in my top 5. Especially the title. The title track is really, really, really good. Yeah. It's French.
Mm-hmm.
And it has this like French always think they're better than the rest.
The kickback.
Yeah, but it's just they do their own thing. The sound is a bit weird. I have a couple of friends. They say, yeah, I don't like it because of the sound.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of it's not lo-fi. It's just very, yeah, it's dirty sound or something. And the vocals are like, yeah, they have "fuck you" written all over it.
It kind of has that. That's why I said kickback phenomenon, because it kind of has that sound wise. It kind of has that clear crackle going over it that makes it, that that gives it that grit, I guess, that a lot of French bands have. But yeah, it's mostly in the attitude that French bands have, like you said, and we're better than the rest.
Yeah, and the
know.
music has the attitude like we don't care about you, out of my way.
Yeah.
I didn't revisit the previous one after listening to this one. It's been a while, so I should do it. The green one.
I have it on tape. I got it from David some 2 years ago, I guess.
I think it's still available at AOTY.
I'm pretty sure.
This one was sold out. Like I ordered 5 copies.
Yeah, I was too late to get.
And it was I ordered 5 copies the day it was released, and I those were the only copies I could get.
Mm-hmm.
So didn't see that coming.
No.
Yeah, of course, they had a lot of less copies, I think, because it's a split with Entropic Records.
Okay. And maybe
which is now, Entropic now is called Extra Conscious.
Oh, okay.
And I'm doing the Koldovstvo together with them.
Oh yeah, I saw and Void Hanger, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm Babylon Doomcult and Extra Conscious.
Oh, I thought it was 3.
No, Volkswagen, there's a tape.
Oh yeah, Volkswagen, yeah.
Volkswagen Records, yeah.
Okay.
But it's a great record. Each time when I hear the title track, I think, "Oh, this is so good," and you have like the not choral vocals, but some clean vocals in the background, which even has a bit of a Darvaza touch sometimes, I think. But then the riffs kick in again, and then there's this part where the drums start a bit too soon or so, and it's so good. And every track after that, I think, this is even better. So it's just the last track I heard from this record is the best track.
I'll put it on my to-do list again, I guess. I think the line I could, just pull through all of these releases for me, or most of them, is that a record, it seems for me, gets interesting when a lot of vocal styles are mixed, and a lot of records actually have that. Like the Septic 7-inch that is coming, like every band member has a vocal part on there. And then I was thinking, why do not more bands just use? You have 4 members, just do more with vocals, but that's a choice you make, I guess. My second one is this one, Tijdig, on Napatale. I'll try to pronounce the title. I wrote it down because I think it's not on here. It's called I Galkabens Mørke. They are from Denmark, and they are from the Corpsand collective. This is I got the Vaneberg record and this one together because I was thinking the Vaneberg would be the most excellent record. It's more of that punk black metal crossover again. This one knocked me off my socks. It is very raw. It's a raw black metal record, and I was off it a bit, but this is one that pulled me back in. It had, it's like, if you see the cover, it has these maybe cliched, snowy, pine trees, but it has that sound, that blistering, cold, windstorm, snowstorm feel. It is very raw in the sense that the production is just in the deep, but the difference between this and something, like I always talk about the Portuguese scene, that they have crazy dynamics in their music. This is all on the same plane, so the vocals are on the same plane as the drums, and it's just in the deep, but they're all in the deep. It's not like singers too much down the road screaming. I think it's the most black metal offering that Corpsand has. There are not too much punk influences here. It's just straight dismal, bleak, that kind of shit. It came out on Corpsand. It's from the Corpsand collective, but it came out on Tour de Garde in 2019 already. So it's a 2019 tape, but the vinyl is from this year. So I thought it should count. I had the Val record in here. This took the spot because Val was from 2019. Then I found out this was from 2019, so fuck it, it's in. So it could have been as easily been Val, but but yeah, it's worth checking out. And this is a record that kind of went under the radar because it's in distros here and there. You can find it, while other records from that label just skyrocket in price.
Yeah. And what's the name of the band?
Seidr, S-E-I-D-R. S-E-I.
Yeah, I wrote it down. We'll check.
I could say the title of the record again, but I don't think you will.
Now I have a nice bridge to either another French band or a Portuguese band. At least that's what I think. Or a band with a lot of different vocal styles. So I'll just take the one on top of my list. It's we talked about it. I think that's Scepter. That's Scepter. I'm gonna take the Empyrean Grace with it because for me it's they're kind of in the same style of black metal, which just
Totally understand.
Start riffing and just keep on going, create a psychedelic effect. Especially on the Empyrean Grace is kind of subtle in some points, which is kind of a trademark. Also heard by Turia at Turia Records or at Solar Temple. The demo of Solar Temple, the end is very quiet and very so it's sparse instrumentation, but it's an essential part of the demo. That's something you have here as well. And the Death Scepter is the first track. When it starts, it just keeps on going for 20 minutes or so without pause. And the second track is maybe even better because it has that droning, bassy undertone, which I also have on like Regnum Saturni of Fell Voices, or Luvia Records have it as well. So that's something I can enjoy very, very much.
I was surprised when we were talking about this record when it came out. You told me you listened to the previous one by them, the Death Scepter, and you said it was you you found it boring, the previous one. Did you revisit it, or did you? Is it still the same? No,
I haven't revisited. So
okay, yeah, let's not go into it. I thought that was a weird word using boring for that record. We'll talk offline.
I'll revisit sometime. Can't promise it will be soon.
No. Okay, my turn again, I guess. I have Faceless Burial with Speciation. This came out on Mesaka Un Oil, and it's the first of a few from that label. This is an Australian death metal band, a bit on the technical side. This is their their third full length. I'm sorry. They started on Iron Lung Records, which is a mostly punk and hardcore label, I would say. This is the nice seafoam green pressing of this one. It is technical, but not in a way that it's annoying, if you know what I mean. It's technical in the sense that these guys can play really well. I mean, they are proficient on their instrument.
Is it like technical, like Blood Incantation?
Maybe, but it's less. Maybe, but if you take out the cosmos and the weird trippy, it has in some places it's kind of going for that, but it's more there's a bit more maybe the heavy parts of a Blood Incantation, I would say. Yeah. But it's still something else. I have their first record, and that was too clean for me. The production was almost like there was no grit on it, and listening to death metal, you need a bit of that foulness. I'm not saying this is better, but the sound kind of grew on me, and this record grew on me. Definitely came in late this year for me to listen to, but it kept growing and then creeping up the list.
I think I only listened to one death metal album this year.
Oh, I have
And it's
one here.
Black Curse,
I
which I should show, but I don't have it here.
it's coming a bit later in my top. So,
Okay.
yeah, it is. I don't know. It's just a good record. It is not anything special per se, but I love the first one. I never heard the second one, and then all of a sudden this popped up on Mistaka, and I just said, "Hey, why not? Let's give it another."
Mm.
And like I said, it crept up from the runner-ups to the maybe in my top to in the top.
Yeah.
So
The thing with technical music, technical guitar players or whatever is they often put the skills. They think skills are more important than writing songs.
that's not the case here. They have songs.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. That's when it becomes too technical. It's like jazz. If it becomes too technical, sometimes it can become too much very fast. That's one of them. Sure.
I'm just gonna go top to bottom. I have one CD in my list. Won't be a surprise.
Yeah, I know the cover.
It's
me.
Paysage d'hiver.
Okay.
In Wald. I don't feel like putting on a record over 4 LPs and getting them out of the box and putting it back in. Even these are 2 CDs. Yeah, one is in my CD player at the moment because my record player is broke.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a bit clearer sound than all the previous work.
It's a new full length, right?
Yeah, it's the first full length. All the rest are demos.
Oh, okay.
So he has how many albums does he have?
That's what I was going to say. At a certain point when they were re-releasing all the vinyl issues, I started collecting, but it was like if you put out 14 demos and records and stuff like that, it's too much. So I think I have Kerkig and maybe some other stuff. But
yeah.
And this is
I bought a lot of them, but I think I'm gonna buy them all on CD because it's just something I want to put on and just let it go.
Like if you buy this one on vinyl, it's what a 4-box set or
4 LPs.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to stand up like 8 times to listen through it, which I think would break the
flow of the music.
The listening experience.
So digital is the way to go.
Sometimes. Yeah, it's very cliche to put it in, but it's just a very good record.
I don't think it's cliche because I'm a nerd for these things, and I looked into a lot of tops, and it's not popping up that much. I think maybe just because of the massive scope of what record it is. I'm not sure. Too many.
Yeah, I have the same with the split between Mare Cognitum and Spectral Lore. It's a 3 LP. It's also a double CD, but it's before I get that music, have to invest a lot of time.
I haven't heard a note of that one, so that will be interesting too, I guess, to delve in.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but it's pretty. When I put it on, it's good, but I can't say like, oh, the 4-track or this track or don't know it that well.
Yeah, but maybe it should be considered as one big piece rather than tracks.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Next one.
I also got the from Paysage d'hiver, the Schnee reissue.
Oh yeah.
It's like 4 tracks about snow. Surprise, surprise. from all kinds of splits. And it's the first one is 2003, and it's 4 tracks, and they just put on a CD now. And I have 2 of the tracks on vinyl, the one with Nordlicht and the one with Drudik. And they're great tracks as well.
I have a small collection of them, but not too much, I think. let's see. We have this one.
That's the one with Trudik.
And then Schattegang. And then this one is maybe the coolest one. I think this is Kerkit, but I'm not sure. I don't see it now. It's with the lights. Yeah. It kind of gave up when the 10th record in the series came out, and it was just too much to get all into. It. Definitely a project we're checking out.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see some more death metal, black metal, if you will. Of Feather and Bones with Sulfuric Disintegration came out on Profound Lore. Also, really late in the year, I think I got this copy Christmas Day, maybe a bit before that, but I've been listening to it digitally nonstop. Very blackened death metal, if you will. It has as much black metal parts, in my opinion, than it has death metal parts, so it's on the verge. I saw them live with Tomb Mold at the Magazine Cup, and yeah, I'm not saying they were better than Tomb Mold because they are a totally different band, but they made some impression on me. It is blistering fast, blackened death metal. Yeah, there's not much frills. It's just a steamroller, like something like a Dragon into Sunlight, maybe. That intense. Live, the new record will be around that intensity. Upon third, fourth listen, you kind of hear through the muck. You kind of hear variations. Kind of hear soloing. There's some dive bombs here and there, but it's mainly focused on let's get this shit over with and just a barrage. Just it keeps on going. Yeah, very cool record. What did I wrote down? There's the Noctemnania as a third track. It is, I think, maybe a 7-8 minute track, and the last part has a breakdown or a riff that just, I don't know what it does to my brain, but it just it does something. It has a weird breakdown part with some, I don't know, it's like there is one pause in that record and it's that riff, and it's just as if the whole band is stuttering and like playing a countermeasure, but it's still in the same vein as the rest. So it's a weird part in the record. I like it very much. Yeah, that's about it. Kind of a hard record. It's a very hard record.
Hard, like the music is extreme, or hard to get into?
No, music is extreme. I could see a very, very hard pit if they would play the Magazine Cup, for example, and it was in the right mood. That's a death metal band that could easily create a pit, a violent pit, and right. Yeah. But yeah, very good record.
Does it have some? Because when you say a pit with death metal, I think either old school death metal, or something with aggression of hardcore in it or something.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to. It's not hardcore. I think the aggression comes from the black metal influence in it. It gives it that, because aggressive death metal always still has that round kind of sound to it. It never really is that sharp sound, and I think the black metal influence gives it that extra edge or that sharp sound that makes it just a bit more aggressive than. Yeah. I don't know what band to compare to. Maybe a Dragon into Sunlight, but Dragon into Sunlight is not death metal, not black metal. It's completely.
No, it's yeah.
So it's in that vein that just a steamroller that just goes for the kill zone. I guess it just keeps going. Yeah. But yeah, if you're into mindless violence for half an hour, check that out. I like it. It's not thinking music; it's punching music.
I will check it. I put it in my 2020 playlist on YouTube, on Spotify.
All right.
Which now lasts
7 million hours.
It has 578 songs.
You'll never hear
55 hours.
You should be working.
Sorry?
you should be already working on your top 2021, so you don't have time to listen to them all.
Yeah. Okay, I've got the Chambre Froide EP.
Yes.
It's called Puissance. I can't read it.
Oh, the French, right?
Yeah, Puissance du vide, triomphe des morts.
Okay.
And it's it has a couple of different. It has 3 songs, and it's all kind of different songs. It starts as a mid-90s atmospheric black metal with some keys in it and stuff, and then there's another track which is pretty more fast black metal, and it reminds me in one part of Kvist.
Okay.
Which is for some people I know Rick from Outerdale says it's the best black metal album ever.
Yeah. I know
and the last track ends a bit like Gate of Nana from Beherit, like this dun, 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 dun. So it's very fresh listen. It's also French, but it's different.
Yeah.
From sorry?
Doesn't have that French sound that
it's not the it's not pushing you away like no, okay. It's really nice, and you can put it on like 5 times in a row. It's only 17 minutes or so.
Are they a Fallen Empire band? A late Fallen Empire?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It lasts 17 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay.
And their previous one is the one with the three skulls with the. If you see the cover, you will know it.
Yeah, I know.
It's indeed Fallen Empire.
Does it have a church on there somewhere, or?
Yeah, it has a church.
Okay.
Or a cathedral. Maybe a basilic.
All right. Another cheat for me. This is Majestic Mass with Savage Empire of Death. You should, sound-wise, you should think of it as UVSS. But it's even more fuzzy. It's even more like metal-ish. It's hard to. I have to compare them to them because it's that sound, but it's kind of totally different in the same way, because it's mostly the vocal part. Vocal part has that more black metal feel, where a UVSS has that chanting, cult member vibe. This more has a first 70s doom, that kind of feel. So it has a lot of influences thrown in together. This is actually from 2018, but it's been pressed on vinyl only this year. I saw someone talk about this record and like, get it now because it's gone, and that was the fact. It's like a blip. It went on for like a day and then it was gone. So I think pick it up. Blackened Psych Rock Doom, 70s organs playing all through it. Tons of fuzz. It has synths, it has black metal occult vibes going through it, but it's still, the vocals are black metal punk, but very raw, and then the juxtaposition of that fuzz 70s sound with the organs, and then that punk scratchy, it kind of works in a way that it shouldn't work, but it does. So Majestic, they're from Denmark too. I think Denmark was my country of the year music-wise this year, but it's very
weird. If you say like 70s rock and stuff like that, is it like Black Magic SS?
I said UVSS, right?
Yeah, but is it something like Black Magic SS?
Yes, I meant Black Magic.
Okay. Yeah, UVSS is the Unholy Vampiric Slaughter Sect.
There we go. No, it's black metal. It's
okay, Black Magic SS. Okay.
It's that sound, but that's why I said the singer for that band has that cult leader shanty vocals. while this has a more raw vocal approach. And the music is also a bit raw than, I think Black Magic SS, the production is raw. This is played in a raw way. Maybe that's the difference. But yeah, if you like one, you will definitely love this one.
Okay. And what's it called?
Majestic Mass with, once again, the Savage Empire of Death.
Which label put it out?
That is a very good question, my friend. It's one of those you never heard of this label, right? It could be self-released because there's definitely nothing on the back. Iron Fist Records.
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist Productions, it says.
Rings a bell, but I don't know. December 31. December 31st was the release of the vinyl.
I have it longer than that. So it's completely all over the map because it says recorded in 2018, released by Iron Fist in 2019, and I bought it in 2020. So I literally don't have any idea when this came out. I think it was around October, November, maybe, that I got it.
Mm.
I know.
Have you heard the Assassination record? Circles Within Circles. That's also.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. I know the cover is that psychedelic with the stripes and the skull and stuff like that. But
yeah.
After hearing Black Magic SS, that entire scene of all those bands, I actually only like one record by Black Magic SS, and then the rest, I don't know, it just doesn't speak to me.
Okay.
But I haven't listened to Assassination, so I'm not sure.
Could have been Black Magic SS could have been in my top as well, but it's been a while since I listened to it, so I kind of forgot about it.
I only like Kaleidoscopic Dream. I think that's the one I like, the blue one.
Is that the one with My Love on it?
Oh, I couldn't tell. It's the one that is impossible, the most impossible to find. That has been repressed.
I have no idea which one that is.
You have it, I think, because you had it for. I was just too late getting it from you. Or Spectral Ecstasy. I'm not sure which one it is.
Spectral Ecstasy is the blue one.
Maybe it's that one.
That one has My Love on it. Kaleidoscopic Dreams. Yeah, it's the one before. It's more less polished, a bit more raw, I think.
But there's one that sticks out for me. Like I said, it's more than a year ago since I heard that record. But I know that I played it digitally here in the basement like maybe 100 times. It was just the record that I put on when I was making packages or whatever. So I know I dig that one, but the point of interest just fell off after hearing another one. Something like Ropesec, maybe, that was in that same year or that same category, that had a bit more post-punk that pulled me back into it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have it here.
Ropesec. I haven't heard.
Yeah. I didn't like it at first. It's a bit more complex songs or something. Yeah. It's hard to describe, but I couldn't get into it at first.
Mm-hmm.
But now I love it.
I know the first one had it was a challenging record, but it had this very easy way to get into it in some way. It was on Iron Bonet, so I had these expectations of what the sound would be, but it was something completely different. And at the same time, it just grabbed me instantly. And I don't know, I should revisit that one because it's been a while, but I still like that. I know I still like that record.
Yeah, this one as well. It's for me, it wasn't easy to get into, and I thought it was very, very boring. Not much happening, but it's one of those records that at first listen, not much happens. Maybe because the sound isn't too dynamic as well, but
do they have a new
new
vocalist?
No, but the guy from what's his name? The guy from Beast Milk and
yeah. I don't know his name.
Matt McCurney.
He's on there.
Yeah, he's on there on 2 tracks.
I love.
And it has a bit of like Beast Milk-ish parts more than the previous one.
I love that record. To death, that Beast Milk one.
Yeah.
The other stuff I can get into, like Grave Pleasures, or it's called Grave Pleasures, I think. I don't like that.
Yeah, they have more than one record. The orange one, the very colorful one, is pretty okay. The second Beast Milk record is really bad.
Do we have a second one? I thought I just had the
or is it the first Grave Pleasures?
Okay.
This is bad.
I'm pretty sure Beast Milk just has the skull with the glass of milk.
Yeah.
That is incredible from start to finish, I think.
Yeah, it is. Also one of the worst gigs I ever saw at Roadburn. So hyped at the main stage, and then they could not pull it off.
I was standing there wishing for it to be much better than it was, because I love that record. I think
but then I saw them in Antwerp with In Solitude.
Yeah.
And then they had the second guitar player, which was the key to success, I think.
It worked.
For them, yeah, it was super, super good. In Solitude as well, but Beast Milk was yeah. It was at Kafka.
Yeah.
And it's like small venue. So when I was kind of on the 5th row or something, so it was very cozy and yeah, it was like a little party.
Sometimes you see
but the second guitarist was the female, the blonde girl from Maggot Heart, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
She was there as second guitar player, and that was
better.
Yeah, better. Roadburn, the main hall, it just did not work.
I think sometimes bands play the main hall a bit too fast. You know, like the sound works. Like I remember seeing Pallbearer there for the first time, and I've been with that band since. I mean, I can see the demo over there since 2012 or maybe like that. And the vocals, it has a very specific vocal style. You know, that Larry. You know, he has a very specific vocal style. But when they played Roadburn, it was like he couldn't hit a note for shit. I saw them 2 times that weekend, and I was wanting it to be so good because I'm in love with that record, first record. But it was absolutely, it was atrocious. If I can use the word, it was atrocious, because you know those lyrics and those song lines so well, and when he misses every note, it's, you know, it ruins the show.
Yeah.
I bought tickets for, I don't know where I saw him the second time, and I think he had a vocal coach because he was hitting every note, every mark. It was just like on the record, and then you know, you have that vibe that keeps you into the live experience.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be always, you know, the live and records the same thing, but if it's like something like Pallbearer, where the sound is so heavily on the vocals, I would say, or on the song line or the vocal line, it should be on the record, because you know, that was my biggest disappointment for him.
The thing with Beast Milk was, I think when the guitar plays like all those little high pitched sounds, there was no backing guitar to rock.
So it sounded empty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can see that. It's been a long time since that was. I know we asked them to be a part of the Abyss Stairs Back, the box set we did with Hypertension, and we got the shittiest mail in the world back from that guy. So I was like, oh, man, we're down here. But yeah,
I'm just gonna check if they have 2 albums. No, they only have 1.
Yeah, 2 7-inches and 1 full length, I guess.
Yeah, possible.
But from what I heard, one of the Grave Pleasures albums could be considered as Beast Milk 2, if you will. But I
think that's the one I mean, the with the red cover, because the first one, Dream Crash, is very It sounds like someone wants to write a Beast Milk album, but doesn't have a clue of how to do it.
Is that the one with the Vishnu figure, or is that on the second?
No, that's the red one. That's a nice album. Yeah, it's not as good as Beast Milk but it's okay. First one is called Dream Crash. It's doesn't do it for me.
The miss. All right.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't have too much raw metal in my listening list, or raw black metal in my listening list for 2020. But this, in the last 2 weeks, because I had it in my runner-up, as in I know this is good, but I haven't listened to it too much. But this one, Lampier, with Awaiting the Predatory Dreamscape. I always liked Lampier. I know them or him from Uditech updates. They had the demo, and it was so weird seeing it on Uditech. I just ordered it, and when it came in, I didn't know what to do. I think it was the first thing I heard in that genre, that raw black metal, was a Lampier 1 demo. This is not the same as the demo. This is more, I think the entire scene or the entire genre, just the good ones or the main ones, like this one, like Frederik, the one you showed, kind of pulled out of that scene and just turned up the production just a bit, so it's you can do something with a record and you don't have the feeling that you spent $20 on just a disc full of static, I guess. This
I don't get it, the whole scene, the whole raw black metal scene. It just I heard one track of that new Nächtlich tape, kind of like that. Kind of like that. Have to put on the whole tape. But then I listened to some previous stuff of Nächtlich, and I do have a record of them. The stuff I found on YouTube was like, maybe I should invest more time to get into it, but
I don't know. I put a lot of time into the scene. I think 2018, 2019. If you look back at my channel, I think 70% of the records I'm showing is raw black metal tapes, vinyl, whatever, because I think with my background, and my background is not black metal. My background is hardcore. Let's say hardcore metalcore. It has that raw black metal has that abrasiveness and that that production style that a lot of punk and hardcore has, without sounding alike. So I think that's what drawn me to it. But there was around the same time I'm talking about, late 2019 maybe, there was a point of saturation where there were just tapes coming out that I ordered just out of pure blind buy frenzy, or whatever you want to call it, or because
buy or miss.
Yeah, buy or miss. Yeah, definitely buy or miss. Like 100 copies, and then you hear it, and then you actively started wondering, why do I buy the shit? And then I just stopped. So there were really tapes that weren't listenable, and then you end up with a wreck of cassettes that you don't listen to ever. I think this stands out in that way. Like I said, it pulls it back up a little in production. A very big intro. The sound is just better. It has, it's great sounding raw black metal, which is an anomaly in itself. And I like the record. It's a grower for sure, because the first time I listened to it, I thought, here we go again. It's just another synth or piano or organ based intro into the black metal, but it keeps coming back, and it has variation in it, which is not really the case in a lot of these records. Came out on Altar, and it came out of nowhere. It was very surprising that one, it came out, and that two, it came out on Altar. It had a box set issue or a version on a box set and stuff like that. So I just opted for the black, which is fine by me. It has really slow dragging parts, which is also a bit weird for this music. Tempo changes all over the thing, and it has a lot of repetition, but it kind of gives it that trance-like feeling, but it has that nightmarish feel instead of a positive trance. It really goes into, I think my title of the year is this, Awaiting the Predatory Dreamscape. If you create a visual with this, it could be this record. So
Yeah.
I was hooked on the title alone.
I'm gonna check it because I found a copy in my stock of the distro.
I got it from
That's possible. That's possible. It's not online at the moment because I thought it was sold out from me. So I found it. So who knows? It will end up in my collection.
I'm not. Yeah, if it's not your speed, it's not your speed. But it's very bleak U.S. raw black metal from the the perverse homage camp that I'm very interested in. I been listening to Hand of Glory this week, maybe the entire week, because the guy behind that Lamb, I don't know if you are familiar with him, but he passed away like I think a week ago, last week or so. He was in Voorde, the band we were checking out all the time.
Okay.
He was in Sanguine Eagle. He was one of the guys in House of First Light, that label or that scene. So it's very interwoven and influential in that scene, and it reawoken my passion for raw black metal a bit. Just sad that someone has to pass for me to get back into that scene. If you see, it was weird since we were talking about Voorde, and then I was so engulfed, and then because I never made that connection between that band and something like Hand of Glory, but to see what that guy is doing, was doing, it's kind of incredible. So rest in peace, I guess, to him. I have 5 records left, so
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left, but 2 of them we can just be very short about it.
I can be short about some of these too.
Yeah, we discussed this, Untitled and Scaffi, so we did those.
2 records.
Not much to say about it.
2 records I enjoyed thoroughly because of what we are doing, but that didn't make it into the collection yet.
Yeah, it's both records. Not something. It's normally not my cup of tea. This difficult music, but somehow they know how to keep it musical.
Yeah,
and that for me is the key.
That Reverend Abmallert, or how do you say it? I think that was my biggest shock of the year, as in, how can something so unhinged and abrasive be musical at the time? And it's like one big piece. It has really weird parts. It has nightmarish parts. It's all over the place, but it's something else. It is definitely something else. Same goes for Scaffi. I think I think we said in the last video, they are kind of similar in that vein. I think the Reverend Mallard is a bit more nuts, but
don't know. No. Talking about Scaffi, I got the Drot-in tape, but I never listened to it because I didn't have a tape player back then.
Is that Serator tape?
Yeah. And I wanted to, I won't say revisit, I wanted to visit it. Now that I have a Walkman.
Okay. Jealous.
I put out a message on Facebook. Somebody has tips for a Walkman or a tape deck, and one of my customers just sent me a Walkman, like really straight from the 80s.
Cool.
I think so.
Sports. I put on that message on Facebook and different platforms 4 times. I have received 4 Walkmans, and they are all broken. So I have a stack of Walkmans over there that don't play. I'm still looking for one. It's impossible to find a Walkman. You should look up prices for Sony Walkmans on eBay or something like that. You will.
I got it around the time the Empyrean Grace tape came out, because I went to the store and I had my wireless headphone and I put the cable in. And I put the Walkman in the pocket of and just like 30 years ago, I was going to the store with my Walkman.
back to with Middelburg.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had more tape.
And with the pencil. I remember when I was in university and going back and forth every day with the pencil and just at the in the bus. Just
There's the battery.
yeah, definitely.
Richard from Tartarus has that pin. I don't know if you saw it. It's an older pin. It's just a tape with a pencil going through it and a pool of blood. Cool tape. Cool pin. All right. One that was in my runner-up list, but like I said, I was on a raw black metal kick. This is Carved Cross. With I'm not going to see the title, I think, because it's not readily available, but it's called Severance of Disparity in Absolute Acrimony. Do with it what thou will. Carved Cross has always been a polarizing band for me in the sense that I have, when I see the artwork and the logo, I have this preconceived notion of what it's going to sound like. I think it's going to be raw black metal, but in fact, it's definitely, it's not even black metal. I think there is the intention or the aesthetic or the mindset of black metal, but it's so much more. It is too slow to be black metal, in my opinion. It is very dragging and it's very droning. It has parts electronics going through it. It has fuzz, static. It's almost more of an ambient thing that pulls influences from black metal than that it's black metal. So it took me a while to get that preconceived notion out of my head and really start to look for what they were, and not just expecting black metal.
It's not even their latest album.
No. They have two full lengths this year. The other one was released by themselves, I think, through one of their outputs. They have Overuse as a label, which is also, which is also a label that does punk and that does their more techno related or their more noise or ambient projects. So it's Tasmania, Australia, and they are just a bunch of really creative guys that are their influences. Because I was reading a zine, their influences come easily from techno as from 8000 scene here in Belgium. So they are around our age, I think, all of them. But they have Forbidden Citadel of Spirits. I don't know if you know that. That's their black metal band, or one of the guys' black metal bands. But Carved Cross really started clicking with me once I let go of the idea that it is not a black metal band. It is just a bunch of guys a band that play really good music that have influences from the genre. It is it's almost a ritualistic droning sound that they produce, which is very, and once again they pulled their production up considerably since the demo material, because they have like 700 demos, 900 EPs, 7,000 splits. But I when I saw the cover, and this is on Dead Shadow, I recently learned that Lasse from Skill did this record, so that makes it, I guess, extra special. Now that I'm seeing it, the title is just there on the cover, but it's hidden in plain sight. Came with a 7-inch, so it's a nice package. But to have them put this out this year, the 7-inch, which is basically another EP and then another full length that I'm desperately looking for, but it came out through them, and to get records from Australia, it's so expensive. I asked around for distros to put it in, but nobody seems to jump on it. But Carved Cross, I liked it forever, but it's only recently that I know what to expect and started listening to it in a different way and really appreciate what they were doing. Definitely worth into.
It's weird, huh? Expectations.
Yeah.
Expectations of what something sounds like. I have the 2020 playlist on Spotify, and I just put it on shuffle in my car, and the song started playing, and I thought, I know this song, and it was really good, and I just could not put my head around it, what I was listening to. And it sounded even a bit like kind of a stoner doom sound. And at the end of the track, I thought, I have to know what it is, and it was Rope Sect. So then I could not put my head around what am I listening?
Yeah. It's sometimes for me because I think I'm a very visual person, so sometimes a cover just colors a record for me, knowing that the expectation or the preconceived notion is like it's going to sound like this, and then you put it on, and then it could be hit or miss, just in comparison
Yeah.
to music. So it is
How
weird.
did that work for the Veterwrak for you? Because that's also the music. I wouldn't expect that music from the cover.
No. That's what we were talking about in the video. It was not a shock for me because it takes a
It's
lot.
a very musical album.
Very musical. It should be, in all intents and purposes, it should be a very, very, very raw, lo-fi black metal record. It's actually a very well produced, great, almost borderline heavy metal in some parts black metal record. It was in my top, but I switched it out for another from that scene, so that's coming up. My next one, there was no preconceived notion. It is just what it is, and this is Eternal Champion with Ravening Iron. Power metal, heavy metal, worship done. There's a ton of bands coming out in the last year that, considering if you're into this or into that, do it better. I think this is, for me, the best band doing it. Maybe it's because I'm a huge fan of Iron Age, the singer, and a lot of other guys from this band were in that band. Really great hardcore band. I just think the songs, they are instantly catchy. For example, the Skull Seeker on this one is just, you hear it once and you can imagine yourself in a dark room, them playing a few beers, singing along to it. It's just instant. For me,
in a dark room.
Yeah, in a dark, of course. Yes. No, they should have some lights on stage, but yeah, you know what I mean. There are.
I haven't listened to it yet.
I haven't listened to it yet.
I heard some songs. I haven't listened to it. I put it on today when I was in the attic packing parcels.
Okay.
But just like 3 tracks or so, and then I was finished. I have the record, but yeah, my record player, he just doesn't spin anymore. So
Part of the other record, their first full length.
No, I never got around to listen to that because I hardly play music from YouTube or so.
Okay.
Now that I'm doing the label and I'm a lot of the time behind my laptop, I do play music from YouTube, so I could check it out now. But in the car, it's always at Spotify or sometimes Bandcamp.
Yeah.
But I didn't. But I got the Summerlands record, which is the same vocalist.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. So I do have expectations from this one as well.
I think that
I'm a bit let down by the quality of the record and the package and
the way it looks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this. The cardboard is not so. Yeah, I don't know. And I also heard from that the printing maybe isn't top notch. I got the records from No Remorse. 12 records in a box. They all 12 had dents. So I had to get new covers, and maybe that's not helping. And I told Andries from Andries Beckers,
Yes.
I told it to him because they were mentioning the record in there, Welcome to the AA.
Okay.
And I told him, you can tell Alex I got the record. And he said, yeah, I already got it, and I got a shirt with it, and it's so poorly printed, I can hardly come out of the door with it.
Yeah.
For a label like No Remorse, who do really big releases, I believe the limited of this one, the box set, is on 500 copies.
Yeah.
So then you Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, there's the European version on No Remorse. I got this one because the previous one actually is very good, sleeve wise, record wise, very good. I almost went for the US version because that's on their label, their output. It's something with swords, I imagine. I don't know. Yeah, the choice between this is 18 euros to get it over there is like $40 record. So
Yeah.
and then because theirs are not yet released, the US version there's no record. It's still.
It was this the No Remorse version was delayed as well.
Yeah.
October or something.
Yeah.
And I only have it for like 2 weeks. But all credits to No Remorse with the dents. They just sent me 12 new sleeves without any questions. So.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of weird that they, like you said, limited on 500. I think looking where they're coming from, how well the first record did, I would say they deserve a bit better quality on the pressing. Maybe the sleeve a bit better, but maybe their choice just to keep it. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's very different from label to label. Like Van Records, yeah, they're known for their quality products.
But name another Van. I mean, they are. It's lonely at the top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but once you have a following and you can press everything on 500 or 1,000 copies, yeah, the price for like pressing 200 or 1,000, the price per item drops reasonably.
Yeah, but I think in the case of Van, it's like whatever you're paying the pressing plant, just pure vinyl pressing. But
another Van may be Eisenwald.
Yeah.
They also have just very decent covers and like the Turia or Fluisteraars with the fold glued on top.
Yeah.
Or the Turia and their download cards are already also nice thick paper and it's very high quality, and that's the reason why the Iskander EP still isn't here on vinyl, because they rejected the sleeves. And yeah.
What I was saying with Van is they have the pure cost of the pressing the vinyl. The vinyl company also does a sleeve, but then their diehards and their die cuts and their special editions, the cost of that should be astronomical. But you pay like
the Ruins of Beverest cost like 66 euros in the lavish edition.
Are you getting it in the lavish or just straight?
No, it's not available in wholesale.
Okay. I think the last lavish I got was the King Dude, the one with the snake skin going around, and it was also like 66. But it's a lot of money, but when you get the record in, you know where the money comes from.
Yeah, the prices are reasonable.
It's not reasonable for one record, but you know what you're paying for.
No, but they don't just have it made for 10 euro and ask 60. The prices are fair. It's fair for what you get.
That's what I was going for. So yeah, Eternal Champion. Yeah, they have Arthur Rizek in the band. I don't know if you know that guy, but it's insane one where he's playing it.
I think he mixed or mastered the last Toxic Shock album.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think so. He's from Power Trip? Or he did Power Trip?
Power Trip, maybe. He has a lot of records on his name. He's from Cold World and a slew of older hardcore bands. I mean, he's one of those, how do you say it, Renaissance men of metal, if you will. His production, his playing style, where he was in.
Yeah, he does a lot. Disgrave.
No.
Power Trip, Code Orange, Citadel, the last one, Eternal Champion, Summerlands. So yeah, Crept Sermon, Volan. I see the Volan cover here. The Akap Al.
Yeah.
Okay, weird.
That's The previous one is more of the power, the heavy metal influence coming in, or just pure power and heavy metal. I think on this one, the Eternal Champion, they allow themselves to have their hardcore past come in a bit. There are more. I think they go heavier in some parts, as in it's not breakdowns and mosh parts, but there's some Iron Age shining through here and there, where Iron Age had that leaning into more of the heavy metal sound also. So
it's very American, no?
It's
very American heavy metal.
Yeah, maybe very swords, ironsmith. Yeah, he is an ironsmith. He makes swords for a living. So.
Okay. Like I'm Iced Earth, something like that. It's completely different, but you have the genre US metal, and it's very own distinct style of heavy metal, like Metal Church or Iced Earth, but they really have the guitar playing reminds me of Iced Earth, something. Don't know if it makes sense, but
the guy from Iced Earth was one of the guys storming the Capitol.
yeah, I know. Yeah, but he left the band to become a fireman because it was it's calling. But then a few years later, he was in the band again, and it became a policeman. And
great guy, it seems. Great guy.
Very American.
You're it.
That's it?
No, you're it.
I'm it. Okay, I got the Boreal.
Okay.
It's not cheating because it's re-recorded and it's very different from the original version.
Okay.
No, it has it's very like I was chatting with John Rosendahl from Invisible Oranges and Decibel magazine, stuff like that, and he said, "Oh, you should listen to this. It's like dungeon synth with guitars."
I saw it pop up
and
on
it kind of makes sense, especially the first tracks are very it's like dungeon synth really with a lot of keys, but it has those guitar parts that just add extra atmosphere. It's most of the time mid-tempo to even slow, but it's just also one of those records I can put on and keep listening to. And the last track goes a bit into dark space territory, not that high in space, but there's the faster parts, and also that was also produced by Deha, I think, because the when you compare the last track to the first version, which is from 2008 or something, that's a very stripped down version, and John said, oh yeah, like the slow riffing with blasts under it, you get this that was an addition of Deha, and the whole record has sort of a heartbeat through it. Goes through all the songs, and it just every 4 seconds it's like boom, boom, something like that. It's very weird,
like a bass drop or something. Like 808.
Yeah, like a deep bassy drum. Yeah,
Okay.
Can't really explain, but I told it to Hans Coles, and he responded an hour later. I totally get what you mean with the heartbeat.
Okay, I'll check it out.
So it's worth checking.
I'll dive into it.
It's very clean and beautiful and nice.
Sorry?
It's very clean and beautiful and nice music.
Okay. For a change. What isn't clean, beautiful, and nice is this one. I had this on number 1 in my personal.
It's still growing on me. Every time I put it on, it's like, whoa.
Every listen, it has so much information on one disc. And with information, I mean, from every genre I like, they take the best things, the best parts, the best sounds, and they mash. I don't know how they do it, but
It even has some references to a band like Neurosis or something. Like the last track, it just ends like this very repeating, very heavy part. Just keeps on going and going.
Well, it has Blood Incantation, Spectral Voice, it has Chemist members, and it has Primitive Man. So the Primitive Man is one of my all-time favorite bands. Blood Incantation too. But I don't know. It's hard to describe this record because I want to say it's a barrage of sound and just the cliches, but it's very much more than that. It's very schizophrenic in its execution because it kind of sticks within a certain sound, but within that sound it goes all over the place. If you know what I'm saying. And it doesn't seem like there's much variation from track to track.
Yeah, but
and when you keep listening, like yesterday, and I've listened to this record for, I think, in all honesty, maybe yesterday was the 15th time, for example. And all of a sudden I hear this reverse in the song, and it kind of feels like a rocket impact, just that I never heard before, and it's like the 15th time. So yeah, it is kind of technical, but it's also brutal and gory in the same way without going over the top into something like, the gore is not Cannibal Corpse gore, it's just vocal delivery. I don't know. From that camp, and I mean the Spectral Voice, this really met my expectations, where something like a Stormkeep, for example, maybe didn't, because my expectations were through the roof. By all intents and purposes, it should be my number one record, but I had more fun with two others. But yeah, it's completely interchangeable. And I mean, my biggest wish for this year is to see them live. I think if they can play this, and they played Killtown Deathfest, and the reviews or people I know that saw it were like, dude, this is going to be the best record of 2020, or like.
Yeah, we discussed it like last time. In the previous video, and the first time I heard of it was Jeff of Downbreed.
Oh yeah.
Coming to my distro stall at the base in Utrecht. Coming to tell me the Vol.7 is really cool, and he had a shirt of Black Curse, and he saw them at Killtown.
Oh, there you go.
But I waited a long time to listen to it. He said you should really check it out. But yeah, there's so much I should check out.
Yeah.
But
I was normally going to that Killtown edition, but then
But then it sold out in 2 minutes.
But I think it was also around the same time. There was something with the kids. Someone was being born, or someone had needs, so I couldn't go. So I asked someone to pick me up the promo tape, which completely fell through because they sold out like that. Promo tape was gone, promo vinyl was gone, but it's weird that they came out on Sepulchral Voice, because I think it's great for that label. They do some amazing things, but I think the profile could be a bit higher for a band of that caliber. Maybe a Profound Lore, or they're good where they're at. It's a fine record, it's perfect. But I think if there is a follow-up, I see them.
Yeah, Profound Lore could be nice, but it's Profound Lore isn't it. Yeah, you can get everything anywhere in the world, But if I stock Profound Lore titles, I see people buying them because in Europe you can buy it from their European online store, but shipping is super high, I heard.
And I'm still pretty pissed off at them. So
yeah,
pull an order on me that was like, I ordered the of Feather and Bones like half a year ago on pre-order, because the pre-order went on forever, and I got the Caustic Wounds that I talked about in the beginning of this video as a second record, because they had it repressed. And then when it was time to ship the record, they just said, sorry, we're out of Caustic Wounds.
Yeah, well, it's very hard for me to get them because I can't pre-order stuff in wholesale.
Mm-hmm.
So what's his name? Chris
Booney.
Yeah, Chris. When I mail him and I ask, can I pre-order this one? He says, no, you can't. And I can only get wholesale copies from the European distributor.
Mhm.
On the day the record is released, but sometimes they sell out in wholesale, like Spirit Possession. I had customers asking for the Spirit Possession record,
Mhm.
and I just couldn't get it. It's
I think it's
impossible, so it's
do
very hard. I
yeah.
can promise to my customers I will get it.
It's like an exclusivity deal, or maybe because they know they're selling out. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know why.
No, it's kind of
I also had to mail him a few times to get the Leviathan Verrater box.
uh,
I got it in the end, but yeah, I can never promise my customers you will get it through me.
no. It's a kind of a shitty deal for the Europeans because you can wait for the record to pop up on European distro like ISA or whatever it's called, but you know you're going to get the standard pressing. It's not like the colors are leaving America, so it's always or you order.
Yeah, it depends. Like lingua ignota, you had like 3 or 4 colors, but yeah, that maybe is pressed in like 10 colors or so.
Yeah, they were on the third press of that record, something like that. Then a clear comes over and stuff like that. But I had to cancel my lingua ignota order European too and get it at the American profile lore, and it was cheaper to get it in America than it was from Europe. So I mean, yeah,
Is it America? Is it Canada?
or Canada,
I think it's Canada.
potato.
Yeah.
When something like drops, I get it, but
yeah, it's a pity because it's a great label.
yeah,
They have cool stuff, and it also goes kind of the label I would like to be, because he does lingua ignota, but he does death metal, he does black metal, there's like Spirit Possession, which is really trashy black metal. It goes all over the place. It does grindcore.
yeah. I like that label. It has a huge pro. I met the guy once at Roadburn. I talked to him like you talk to people at Roadburn, so he seems like an interesting guy. Just the way he is, but the records he is releasing from, like you said, from Pisgrave to Spirit Adrift to Lingua Ignota to Feather and Bone. Every record seems to hit in a kind of way.
Yeah. Sometimes the real technical stuff like God Trim or Dreadnought. Sometimes I don't like it at all. But yeah.
Hey, if you have 20 artists, 5 will suck, I guess, or doesn't hit. Your turn. I have 2 left.
I have 2 left as well.
We're almost at the 2-hour mark, so we calculated 3 hours. So we're doing good.
I rediscovered this one, but because of making this list. It's the Null.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I know when it was released, I put it on a few times and really liked it, but I kind of forgot about it. And now putting it on, I've been listening to it for 2 days, almost nothing else, and it's so great. It's kind of an all-star band, I think. I know Dagor from Mysterium is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know by heart which other members. I also saw them play live once.
Are they all Icelandic?
I think so. I saw them on a tour with it was Mysterium, Norna Heta, Null, and one other band, I think.
I know I saw them once because I was interested in getting the record, and then I thought, do I have something by them? And it seems I have a tape by them, so an older tape.
Yeah, they have 2 releases. It's Null and Void is the tape. But the lineup is one guy from Null only, another one from Carpe Noctem, Mysterium. There's guitars in the guitar player of Mysterium. It's the guy with the really Viking-looking guy from Mysterium with the blonde mustache. And from Nadra and Grafir. Then you have Dagor on guitars and keyboards.
This is the null and void, I guess.
You get Orligur Sigurdsson, who is also from Manveira and Nadra.
So it's all Icelandic.
His nickname is Lully, I remember from at the boss. And then you have one guy from Von Laus.
It's funny that we're looking up who's in there because in the J card of the tape it says, look at this, seek not.
Seek not. I saw them in Namen, Namur.
Okay.
It was really weird. It was like a bar, just a bar. So
yeah. That was
this
the day before that. Is it possible they played somewhere in Tilburg, maybe? Like Incubate?
Yeah, I don't know, but they were in the neighborhood somehow.
I know that the show you saw was like and I'm sorry for my Dutch pronunciation, but a voetbalkantine. Wasn't it that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was really a bar, but it's like the small and long.
Yeah.
And you have the counter in one side, so you had like 2, maybe 3 meters to stand, and it was like 12 meters deep, something like that. It was sold out. The stage was like, I don't know, 20 centimeters high. But behind it, you had like the electronic darts, which was when you're not playing, the lights go round and stuff like that. And it was, yeah.
I remember.
Still it was a good show, especially of Mystirming.
Okay. Because I remember the day off, I was thinking, I was at work. I remember this day vividly because that was at the height of my period with those bands. I was thinking, am I going to drive to Namur to see them? I mean, I can't. I couldn't make it. In my head, it was impossible to get there. And then the day after I saw the photos, and it was like them in their bloody white shirts.
Yeah, they changed clothes for every band because I think the blonde guy, what's his name? Yeah, it doesn't matter, but he was in Nornaheta and Null and Mystirming.
Oh, okay. So I did a lot of change. Yeah, I saw the pictures. I was glad I wasn't there because it kind of broke the visual mystery for them. Yeah.
It was nothing wrong with the gig. It was a weird setting, but I'm just looking if I have any if I can find which other bands were there. Mystirming. Nadra. Was Nadra there? Yeah, Nornaheta, Null, Nadra, and Mystirming.
Great lineup.
Yeah. In a bar. but listening to this today, all the, like you said, different vocal parts, it has like clean singing, like lamentating, because it's kind of a depressive album.
Okay.
And it has like the
kind of has a hell feel for me, just looking at the artwork and
Yeah. If you make this red, you have a hell cover.
New one. So
they have the lamentating vocals, they have the black metal, they have the desperate vocals. The music is very slow in most parts. They do have some faster parts, but actually it kind of sounds like you put on a Mystirming record and just slow it down like a lot.
Okay, a lot.
And you could, it hit me today in the car. I was driving to the store and I had this on, and it really reminded me of Mystirming. Okay. It's always interesting. It's the riffs are always interesting. It sounds fresh. Fresh isn't the word, but in lack of a better word, it sounds kind of fresh. Even this depressing, slow.
So it's a doomy, maybe.
Yeah, doomy, but more like depressive, but not suicidal. Something like that. I don't know.
My favorite depressive.
And maybe it's been a while since I listened to Andavalt, but that's also the slow moving. I think it may have some resemblance to Andavalt.
I don't know that one, I think.
No, it was one of the first Misty Scouts releases.
Yeah, I'm not too far.
So sold out like.
This is one of the color records. You have the red, the purple, and the yellow.
It's the purple.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
It's also with a lot of these guys. So yeah.
That was another point that was oversaturated with the entire Icelandic scene.
Yeah, but this one is different. This one is very different from the rest because it's so slow.
I'll start to listen to this tomorrow and then pick back up where for them. This is the first one on Vanuytrecht, it seems, the Null and Void.
Possible. I have the same tape. I have no idea where I got it.
Or burn. Mine, I guess.
Possibly.
For me, I said I had 2 records left. Looking at here, I have a lot more, so I'm going to do an EP dump or a tape dump, just to get through them. The first one I have is Souvenirs of a Necrosadis. That's this one. I talked about it a bunch. The tape came in finally. This is a gurgling gore. I wrote down, it's a 2-piece Dead Doom band from Maine. Down-tuned, that's what they call it. Down-tuned, gurgling, dead putridity. Full thingy snare and a lot of groove. Autopsy influence. And there's a song about interdimensional sodomy. I don't know if I need to say more about that. It's just a very good, if EP-wise American like death metal, it's one of the most fun things I heard in a long time. 2 Maggot Stomp releases. The first one is Tietas with Shrines to Absurdity. This one, I just have it on tape, so I can't fill the screen. Defeated Sanity, Disgorge, Suffocation. They are also from New York, so you know their influences are on their sleeve. But it has a Gorguts influence too, so it's very technical, but you know, psychedelic, schizophrenic, technical. Very interesting tape, very dynamic in sound, all over the place in sound, but they rein it in. Yeah, I think a very good tape, or a very good full length, I guess. The last one is.
Don't know it.
Yeah, it's all Maggot Stomp. If you
don't know it, but if you say like which bands, Defeated Sanity, and what was the other one?
Disgorge, Suffocation, and then the Gorguts.
Yeah, I have nothing with Suffocation also. Maybe I should revisit because it's been a long time since I tried, but
then I would say don't bother with this. But yeah, it's insanity on a tape. I don't know how to describe it. Then the old school death metal revival of 2020. These are the darlings. This is Undead with the legions of a different kind. They are from Rochester. What did I write down? Cannibal Corpse, Carcass, Incantation are the 3 bands that are mostly, you know, in the reviews and the whatever everybody's telling about them. It is very groovy and it is a very fun, very well played death metal, old school death metal, if you will. So Undead. It wasn't in my top 20 on the channel, but it just I started playing and it is, you know, very worth it. And then my EP of the year to round off the small releases, and I talked about this one before it came in. This is the Septic EP, and this is called Septic Decadence. You would say it's Carcass Worship, just pure by the cover, but it is so much more. Yeah, let's see what I wrote down. It is from Copenhagen, Denmark, so it's Dead Scene. It's the guy from Tapos in the middle. that is doing this band. He in the first instance he recorded or he played everything himself, but he had two members coming in. It is, yeah, it's fast, blistering fast. It's dead grind. Very good bass on here. It's guys from Hyperdontia are in here. Ascendancy, Topos. Vocals are on point. They all do vocals. All three guys have a different vocal approach or a vocal style, which just make perfectly. They layer them in such a way that track one is doing the backing vocals, the other track is, just makes it up. It's a very dense sound, but it still has a very airy production, which leaves an EP that has 4 tracks, which are very listenable, while being very dense in sound. So yeah, I can't say enough good things about this. And if they are dropping the full length this year, I will be very stoked. Very good pressing. It's on Nesaka oil. There you go. It's a very blue, very deep blue purple, and this is. I mean, in 20 years, I still think this would be a very good EP. So, very high grades on this one. I tried to get the original collage for the cover, but the guy said he promised it to the band, so I missed out. But yeah, I can't say much more good about this band. It's just I like it a lot. So that's my EPs, if you will.
Okay, I have one more record. I also missed a few, like Armageddon. I never heard Armageddon before. There's Svindel Djup Attestup. Yeah, totally sold. It's very good. The last track is maybe my favorite track of the year.
Okay.
It's just super, super good.
I have one,
Butcher, of course. They're on Osmose now, and it seems to do them good. Also, saw them pop up in a lot of year lists.
Yeah.
Also, I think Osmose is already at the 3rd pressing of the record. Don't know. And then you have to know it's a band you have to experience live.
Oh, okay.
Because have you ever seen them?
No, I bought one because I remember I was at the Vol.7, the venue, and you had the distro there, and I was just flipping through the records, seeing what, and I picked out one. I was looking for it actually. I have the first one by them, I think, but I haven't seen them live ever. I have the black and white cover. This one.
Armageddon. Yeah, I was talking about Butcher.
Oh, Butcher. Sorry, no. I haven't seen them live.
No, I don't think Armageddon is a live band. Is it?
Not sure.
I don't know.
We got mixed up. No, Butcher. I haven't even heard the new record. I have the previous one from you. I played that last week, I think, at one of our party nights, but I haven't heard the new one.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, probably.
It's also all over the place. It goes from Judas Priest-like metal to the title track combines Viking era battery with Merciful Fate, and it's all over the place. And they just the guitar player who writes all the songs, he's a genius. He's a genius.
I have
I normally have nothing with guitar players. I'm always fan of great drummers, but with Butcher, it's one of the few guitar players I really like.
Okay. I have a friend of mine from the US, Kenyon Bickle. He has one of the, what I do on YouTube. He has the bigger channel, I would say. He's addicted to Butcher, so he bought the last record on Osmosis. He's now looking for the first one. So do you have copies of the replay?
I may have a few copies in the attic. I don't think they're online.
No.
But I think I got a batch first press back from the distributor.
Okay. So we'll talk.
difficult. The first press is the first press, but the second one
Has a
is
better sound.
pressed at it's totally recut from the original masters.
Maybe
It's
I'll
just
send
a different blend, and it sounds better.
I'll send him my first issue and get the brown one.
I don't have any brown copies left.
Oh, okay, good for you. All right. Do you have one more? I have two more.
I have one more. Yes.
I'll do one very fast because this has been on
Okay.
everybody's top 20, whatever. This is Undergang with the Aldrich Livet. It's a new Undergang. It is more song based. It is still as nasty as you want. It is still Undergang. It's a fantastic record. It's the record I had the most fun with this entire year. The pressing is a bit. They recalled it actually. So if you want a new one, you can just mail the label and they resend you one. It's listenable, but it has a crackle and pop on the surface that you hear audible. But the record itself, the first three tracks are more like I had a problem with it because the record actually starts for me at track 4, which is called Menescader, which was also the clip and the single. The three first tracks are good in their own right, but it seems like for me at least, I consider them as the intro to the record. Then you have the Menescader, which is the very listenable track on the record with the weird drum parts. And then it goes into Unfrivillig Donation of Vitale Organen, I think. And when that track hits, the record just breaks open and it's insanity. It's just, Danish sewer death metal underground. There you go. Short.
My last one. It's not my number one or so. If I would have to choose a number one, it's if I have a top 5, it's like the Null, the Revelorum, Scafri maybe.
Okay, that's cool.
That Scepter, the Empyrean Grace tape, but this one is in there for sure. The Ominous Resurrection.
Total surprise.
Yeah, have you heard it?
No, I don't even know anything about it. I know the
Okay. It's I didn't know the band until they dropped this album. They have one album before this. It's the drummer from Negative Plane, I think.
Oh, okay, perfect. Cool.
So it's kind of in that vein.
Okay.
And it's super interesting record. A lot of people were complaining about the sound. It's not super well produced. It's not super clean. It is well produced. You can hear all instruments perfectly.
Okay.
But it has this everything around Negative Plane is creeping up on my list of favorites, like Funeral Presents.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say because
especially the first one when the last one was released, the green one, Agiatus.
This one.
Yeah, I didn't like it at first. I do now, but the previous one, the Archer Takes Aim.
Yeah,
I like that even better than Agiatus. And this is all. It's all.
But that's also the drummer, right? Because this is also the drummer for Negative Flame, right?
I'll check.
The only Negative Flame, because that's my want list for this week. I have this one, but I'm looking for the stained glass Negative.
Okay.
This is the I think this is their second. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's called Bestial Devotion, Funeral Presence, everything. He does everything, and he does drums and vocals on.
Could be the same guy.
Negative Plane.
Oh, I'm excited to listen to that record, man.
But yeah, it's the guitar player of Negative Plane who does Ominous Resurrection, and the first one. It's a nice record, but it sounds very clean, and it just doesn't do it for me.
Okay.
Just doesn't do it. This one, yeah, it's super interesting. Like Negative Plane is interesting. They have their own style. Like Funeral Presence, they do their own thing. It's also yeah. It's kind of unique.
Is it something you have in the distro?
I would have to check. I think I sold my last copy to Peter from Alkadale this week. I have the previous one.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but it's still available. It's Terratur, still available at Fan Records.
Okay.
So my box of Fan Records is on its way right now, so I can't order an extra copy, but
no. Okay.
Definitely worth checking out. I should have one copy left.
Okay.
Of this one, Judgment, and the previous one, Omniscient. But it's I have funny story because this one, the sound is a bit harsh, maybe harsh. It's nothing like raw black metal, but it's just not super clean guitar or anything. And I had a friend of mine say, the sound really sucks. It sucks. But then I was listening to Reverend Marquise, and I said to him, I'm kind of getting into Reverend Marquise. Oh, that's such an awesome album. But how can you say Ominous Resurrection, the sound sucks, and say Reverend Marquise is perfect?
I think that's a person that is still heavily involved in the raw black metal scene, and just eye flaps on. Yeah, I think for 2020, if you look at my list, listenability is just high up there. Just enjoyment, fun, listenability. I don't know, enough stress in my head to listen to abrasive music. It should be fun, I guess. My last one is this one. It was in my runner-up, and I switched out for Vetervrak because we talked about this record in the previous one. This is Void Prayer. It is from the Bosnia-Herzegovina Sarajevo crew that does all those great projects. It's called The Grandiose Return to the Void. I didn't listen to it instantly because I thought, once again, like with the Vetervrak, that it was going to be Disney raw black metal from that crew, but it turned out that this is one of my favorite records of the year. It is production-wise very pulled out of that raw scene, and I think the biggest difference between going on in raw right now and this one is that this is a full band instead of most projects, like you said, Revenant Marquise, like you name them, they're all one-man projects that are totally fine in what they're doing, but they're playing all their instruments, and in my opinion, you can be good at and vocals and drums and bass and guitar if you play all those tracks. This is a full band with guys who, one, know how to play, and two, know how to make a song or a record. So it's it is epic without being bombastic. It is I love the vocals. The production is not too beefy, but it's very clear in production. What else? It kind of really builds in the sense that every track, the first one is the shortest track and the last one is the longest track. Like, let's say the first one is 6 minutes, the last one is 12 minutes. And you have to persevere, but it's one of those records that reveals itself in time.
So I should revisit because I listened to it, but I didn't take a copy from my own collection.
100%. The first time I heard it, I just put it on and I thought, okay, this is one that goes into the Void Prayer collection. Then I have those nights. It's called Nichte Avond. A buddy of mine, my nephew, comes along. We listen to some records that are very listenable because he's very young. He's career. We have a few beers, and when he leaves at 11:30 because he has to be home for the evening, I start listening to records, and it just at that point, I think it's of their. If you see that scene, Bosnia Herzegovina, Sarajevo scene, all those bands, I think it's one of the most full-fledged albums. It's not a demo, it's not an EP, it's just very solid record.
And which bands are in that scene? I know Void Prayer and Obscuritatum.
Obscuritatum,
It's
Vegetark is in there.
yeah.
Now I have to think. It's late. We haven't been talking about 2 hours in, but who else is in there? Sulfuric Night, for example, is in there. Maybe my top band.
I always think all those bands are Portuguese.
Yeah. Which is not weird because they're all on those labels. This is on, black and green. Put the sticker on it. Yeah.
Okay, I have them from Altara. I thought it was Altara. Okay.
Maybe release. It's possible it's a split release because they do it all the time. Let's see. Yeah. Altar.
Okay.
Altar didn't give me stickers like in green did.
I have looking at the Vetervrek lineup, and I know none of the bands. I Kehahirit, Drakavtre, Humnere, Liahtare, Tmardhe, Vrkolak.
So now you know why I don't pronounce those bands and just get rules. But I have tapes for them, but it's a lot of ambient projects and
Okay.
talking about the black metal entities coming out of there. But yeah, that was my top 15, I guess.
Stop something, yeah.
A lot of writing.
I should write down more stuff while I make it. I also listened to Worm, Gloomlord, last week.
I left it out. It wasn't my top on the channel, but
yeah, I don't know. I like it, but I don't know how much I like it yet.
Listening to it again, revisiting it, like you said, it kind of dropped a few places. I had it really high expectations because I loved the previous one very much. I am really looking forward to the next one actually because they went from a melange of doomy black metal on the first one, the black and white one, to this one, which is more funeral doom black metal-ish. And I'm really looking forward to what they're going to do with they're dropping what's it called? I have it in my Forever Glade on 20 bucks bin. It's coming out 2021, and I think that will be their. I don't know. I think Gloomlord is their sophomore album. I liked it very much upon first listen because it ticked all the boxes. I still like it, but I don't keep it in as high a position as I did. But I think the third one will be. My expectations are really high, so let's just. Yeah. Still love that band very much.
It's funny. I got a customer ordering it from me, and said, I really want it. Pack it well. I can find it nowhere else. And then it's released on Iron Bonnet, and you go to Iron Bonnet, and they still have it.
It's on their third. It's on the third press or something like it. So.
Yeah, I had the purple haze version and the blue and white, something like that.
Only Swamp Green is real, man.
And another one I'm listening to the last days is the Sun's Journey Through the Night.
I was
also yeah. Still have to let it sink in because it also has a lot of like drony interludes which are long.
I have a lot of sympathy for that band or that guy doing that record. I heard it once digitally, and then I thought I'm going to save it when it comes out on vinyl, but it seems I missed it, so I have to.
Yeah, it was gone pretty quickly.
Seems like a record that should be repressed.
I think so. The previous one, Eternal Black Transmissions, will be repressed in even higher quantities than the first press. So
I like that.
I guess the Crawling Nebula of Dismal Light will get a repress as well.
What a title. Crawling Nebula of Dismal Light.
Yep.
Well, I think we just about to hit the 2.5 hour mark. I think that's
That's long enough.
That's long enough. Buddy, I'll see you. I'll talk to you very soon, and I'll see you within 2 weeks for the Lugubrum episode.
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't know how we're going to tackle the brown episode, but let's go for it.
We should have at least have a carrot with us.
All right, and then episode-wise, if we do 2 weeks Lugubrum and then 2 weeks further, we're in Alkyril territory, so maybe we should ask Peter if he would jump on, because the Alkyril interview is pretty solid. I don't know what we could add except for the English language. So we'll see.
Yeah, indeed.
All
right.
Thank you to everybody watching. We'll see you in 14 days, I guess.
Adios.